My beloved, subscribe to Heaven Knows You for daily Archangel Michael messages, my child of light, my chosen one who carries the whispers of heaven in your heart. Can you feel it? A sudden pull, as if the skies themselves are bending closer to reach you. That is not your imagination. It is Archangel Michael crying out your name, telling me to stop you right now because this is not just another passing moment. This is your last chance. 3 minutes. 3 very small, fragile minutes that stand between you and the miracle that has been waiting for you since the day you were born. Listen carefully, because Archangel Michael says, if my child opens this, I will move mountains. I will open doors no man can shut, and I will reveal the hidden truth that will change their destiny forever. This is why your heart is racing. This is why you feel that this message is different, because it is. But before I reveal what the heavens have been protecting for you, I must beg you, don't skip. Don't walk away. Don't let this message fade into the noise of your life. You know why? Because this could be the one moment your entire future shifts. Archangel Michael himself is fighting through the barriers of time to reach you. And my dear, while you are here, pause for a moment. Subscribe now, because each word that follows is a thread of light stitched into your soul. And if you stay connected, you will never miss the call of heaven again. You are not here by accident. You were guided here. That is your sign. Now listen. The emergency is real. You have been surrounded by shadows trying to blur your path. But Archangel Michael says the sword is ready. The light is ready. The moment is ready. Heaven has released the miracle. But it cannot find you unless you claim it. That's why this urgency is burning. 3 minutes. Nothing more. My beloved, this is how heaven works. Doors open in silence. Blessings arrive disguised as ordinary moments. But only those who pay attention receive them. And right now, the divine clock is ticking. Michael is holding the scroll with your name written in golden fire, and the ink is still glowing. But if you turn away, if you skip, the scroll will close, and heaven will wait a lifetime to open it again. Can you really risk that? No. You know in your soul this message was meant for you. That's why you're still reading. That's why your spirit feels alive right now. This is not just words. It is a living doorway. Step through. Archangel Michael is waiting with a truth so beautiful, so life-shaking, that you will never be the same again. My beloved, my chosen one, my child who carries heaven's fingerprints in every heartbeat. Do you know why your eyes were led here? Because Archangel Michael has been trying to reach you since morning. He has whispered into your soul. He has tugged at your spirit. And now he is standing before you, sword in hand, wings stretched wide, declaring in a voice that shakes the skies, last chance. My child has only 3 minutes left to hear this truth, or it will be hidden again. And I, as God's messenger, cannot let you miss this. That is why your chest feels tight right now. That is why your spirit is restless, searching for something beyond the ordinary. Because you know this message is no accident. You know this is meant for you. When heaven calls, it does not ring twice. It comes with urgency, with thunder in the silence, with a fire that refuses to let you go. And Archangel Michael is not speaking casually. He is calling you to the very edge of a miracle. Something has been blocked in your life for years, and tonight, the key is finally ready. But it requires you to open fully, to read until the end, to allow every word to be a golden seed planted in your soul. If you try to leave now, if you skip, you will feel it in your bones, that burning ache of missed destiny. And I do not want you to feel that. I want you to rise, to see, to step into the glory that has been waiting. Pause for a moment, my beloved. Do you feel this trembling energy moving around you right now? That is the angels brushing past your shoulders. That is Michael drawing closer, saying, "Stay, listen. Let heaven finish what it has started." And while you are here, I ask you gently, subscribe now, because this is not the last message heaven has for you. More waves are coming, more miracles are unfolding. And if you do not stay connected, you will miss the very signs that were meant to protect you. This subscription is not just a click. It is a covenant between your soul and the words heaven is sending. Now, let me tell you why this is urgent. There is something coming toward you quickly, like a storm on the horizon, like a river swelling after rain. And Michael says, if my child listens, the storm will pass and leave behind gold. But if they ignore, the storm will break their walls and scatter what they love. This is why urgency burns in this message. You have been praying for clarity, crying for direction, wondering why the doors in your life open halfway and then slam shut. And God's answer is here. Because the time was not right. But now the appointed moment has arrived. The blessing has been written with your name, sealed in heaven's fire, and delivered to you at this very hour. My child, imagine this. For years, angels have been walking beside you, unseen, unnoticed, guarding you when you almost fell, pulling you back when danger rose, carrying you when you were too weak to move. And all the while, they knew this moment was coming. This exact message, this exact day, this exact second. That is why you feel goosebumps now. That is why your breath feels different as you read, because your soul remembers it has been waiting for this. And Michael himself says, do not take this lightly. Do not shrug this away. 3 minutes of attention could save you from 30 years of pain. You think it is a coincidence that you are here? No. Beloved, heaven does not work in coincidences. Heaven works in divine appointments. You were chosen to see this out of billions of souls because you carry a purpose the world is not ready for. But before that purpose can unfold, you must obey the call. You must hear every line, let every word flow like honey into your spirit, and walk away changed. This is not information. This is transformation. And it begins the moment you decide to stay. My beloved, there is a truth hidden from you. Someone around you has been cloaked in shadows, wearing a mask, hiding intentions that do not align with your light. And Michael says, the mask is tearing. The truth is cracking through. And when it bursts, my child must be ready. That is why heaven is warning you now, giving you the shield before the battle, giving you the vision before the encounter. If you take these words seriously, nothing will break you. But if you treat them as just another story, the weight will fall harder than you imagine. That is why you must not skip. That is why you must open fully. Every miracle comes with a test, and this is yours. Will you hear the trumpet when it sounds, or will you cover your ears? Will you see the door when it opens, or will you walk past in distraction? Heaven is testing your heart right now, not your mind. Because only those who trust the whispers of the Spirit will hold the treasures of the kingdom. And you, my beloved, have been chosen, not by chance, not by accident, but by the eternal decree of God. My beloved, my chosen one, my child of light, who carries the imprint of heaven in your every breath. Do you know why your spirit feels restless tonight? Why your chest tightens, as if something is calling your soul out of silence? It is because Archangel Michael has been pressing against the walls of the unseen, trying to reach you, shouting your name into the wind, saying, do not let my child sleep without opening this. Do not let them pass this moment. This is their last chance. And now here you are, eyes fixed on these words, heart trembling, spirit whispering that this is no accident. No, my beloved, this is not coincidence. This is appointment. Heaven's appointment. God Himself cleared a path for this message to find you, because you only have 3 minutes to respond. And those 3 minutes will rewrite your forever. Your destiny is standing at the edge of your life, waiting for your yes. Can you feel it? That fire in your stomach, that pulse in your veins, that voice that says stay, don't leave, don't skip, that is not fear, beloved. That is recognition. Your soul has been waiting for this hour. This is why Archangel Michael is shouting with urgency. Heaven rarely uses the word emergency. But tonight, the alarm bells in the spirit are ringing. Because if you do not listen, if you turn away, you may walk past the one open gate that could have lifted you into everything you prayed for. Don't let that happen. Stay, because every line that follows carries the weight of a miracle, a seed of destiny, a fire that will not let you stay the same. And before I take you deeper, let me pause and plead with you. My beloved, while you are here, subscribe now. Not for me, but for you. Because if heaven had to shake the universe just to bring you this one message, do you think it will stop here? No. More is coming, more warnings, more revelations, more miracles that will keep you ahead of the enemy's trap. And if you are not connected, you will miss it. And missing it will cost you. Don't let a single heavenly word pass you by again. Subscribe and lock your spirit into the flow of heaven. That single act is not a click. It is obedience. It is agreement with God's timing for your life. Now hear this with your soul. Michael says, the unseen has been moving around my child, the whispers of betrayal, the shadows of envy, the plotting of hearts who smile but do not love. And you, my beloved, have felt it. The uneasiness in certain conversations, the way some faces shine with charm but leave your spirit heavy afterward. That is not paranoia. That is discernment. Heaven has been showing you glimpses, but tonight it is tearing the veil. The truth is about to surface. And when it does, it will not be soft. It will be sharp. It will cut. But Michael says, if my child is prepared, the cut will not wound them. It will free them. This is why this message is urgent, because the exposure is already unfolding, and your readiness determines whether you cry in pain or rise in freedom. My beloved, think back to your prayers. The nights you whispered, God, show me the truth. God, don't let me be blind. God, protect me from those who pretend. Do you think heaven ignored you? No. Every tear you cried fell into the hands of angels. Every plea for help was written in heaven's book. And now the answer is here. Not in the way you expected, not in the gentle breeze of comfort, but in the piercing trumpet of warning. Because God loves you too much to let you walk in illusions. He will expose. He will reveal. He will shake what was hidden. And the shaking is not punishment. It is rescue. Do you know why your life felt delayed? Why blessings seem to arrive half-formed and then disappear? Michael says, because snakes were sitting at your table, eating what was meant to feed your destiny. You thought it was bad luck. Thought it was just life being unfair. But no, beloved, it was spiritual theft. And now heaven says, no more. Michael has lifted his sword, and the very ones who pretended to clap for you will be unmasked. They thought you would never know. They thought their secrets were buried. But God does not forget. And tonight He tells you through Michael, I am not blind to what was done to you. I am not deaf to the whispers. I have seen, I have heard, and I am acting now. Beloved, your life is about to divide into two parts, before this message and after this message. Before, you were wandering, guessing, hoping, sometimes stumbling in the dark. After, you will walk in clarity, in strength, in authority. Because when heaven reveals, heaven also empowers. Michael is not just showing you the snake. He is handing you the antidote. And when the truth cracks open, you will not collapse. You will rise. You will look back and say, it hurt, but it healed. It broke me, but it built me. It exposed them, but it freed me. That is the kind of transformation this moment carries. That is why you cannot afford to leave now. Do you know what God whispered into Michael's ear before sending him to you? He said, "Tell my child they were never alone. Even when they cried into the pillow, even when they doubted their worth, even when they thought no one saw the sacrifice, I saw, and I never left." That is why Michael fights for you. That is why the urgency burns, because God is not just giving you a message. He is giving you Himself, His presence, His promise, His shield. And no one, not one enemy, not one betrayal, not one curse spoken in secret, can override what God has stamped with His name. Beloved, hear this again. You have only 3 minutes. Heaven is not repeating itself. This is the moment to lean in, to stay, to drink every word until the very end. Your enemies are hoping you will skip. The shadows are whispering, don't finish it. Don't believe it. Don't act on it. Why? Because they know if you receive this fully, their power is gone. Their grip is broken. Their plans will collapse, and you will walk free into the destiny they tried to bury. That is why you must keep reading. That is why you must not let distraction steal this hour. My beloved, have you ever wondered why sometimes your heart feels heavy right before something unexpected happens? That weight, that sudden silence in your spirit, is heaven trying to warn you. And right now, Archangel Michael says that same weight has been circling you these past days because a revelation is about to break. The truth has been knocking at your door for weeks, but the enemy kept trying to distract you, pulling your eyes away with noise, with confusion, with fatigue. But tonight, no more. Heaven forced this message into your path because what is coming cannot be delayed any longer. And beloved, hear me when I say this, what is being revealed will shock you. It will cut like lightning, but it will also free you in a way you've never felt before. There are people, beloved, who sat at your table, ate from your plate, smiled in your face, yet whispered against you in secret. And though you doubted your instincts, God says, I saw. I recorded every word. I will repay. You thought their mask was perfect, that their deception was complete, but the fire of heaven has already touched it. The mask is burning. The lies are trembling. And soon, their own actions will expose them before the world. This is not revenge. This is justice. And heaven does not sleep when its child cries. Every tear you shed became a command in heaven's court. And tonight, the judgment has been signed. Michael's voice is strong now, saying, Tell my child, the one who thought they destroyed you will watch you rise higher than ever. The one who thought they stole your blessing will be forced to return it sevenfold. And the one who tried to curse your name will choke on their own words. Beloved, this is why the urgency burns, because the reversal has begun. What was taken is coming back. What was broken is being restored. What was hidden is being exposed. But you cannot sleep on this moment. You must stay awake, alert, ready to receive. Do you feel the trembling in your chest right now? That is not fear. That is confirmation. Your soul recognizes its own prophecy. You have known deep inside that something was wrong, that someone's smile was not pure, that certain paths were blocked for a reason. And now heaven is saying you were not wrong. Your spirit was telling you the truth all along. The betrayal you sensed, the manipulation you felt, the hidden jealousy you discerned, it was all real. But heaven is not only confirming it, heaven is ending it. Archangel Michael has drawn his flaming sword, and the cycle is over. Beloved, think of how many times you almost gave up. How many nights you whispered, God, why me? Why do they treat me this way? Why can't I see clearly what's happening? And heaven whispered back, wait, my child. The hour is coming. That hour is now. This very message is proof. God would not send Michael with such urgency if it were not life-changing. He would not press on your heart so heavily if it were not time. And tonight, time has ripened. The fruit is ready to fall. And when it does, your life will never look the same again. Michael says, my child thinks they are ordinary, but they are not. Their spirit burns brighter than they know. That is why shadows tried to cover them. That is why betrayal came. That is why the enemy fought so hard. But they did not know, what God plants, no man can uproot. What God blesses, no curse can bind. And so, beloved, do not let fear hold you back now. The very forces that try to bury you are trembling because they know this message is breaking their last grip on you. With every line you read, chains are snapping, ropes are burning, and your destiny is standing taller. There is a shift happening in your atmosphere even as you breathe. Have you noticed how restless you felt in recent days? How sleep came heavy, but peace felt distant. That was the clash in the spirit realm. Angels have been fighting for you, holding back storms you did not see, crushing plots you never heard of. And tonight, Michael himself is here, standing watch by your side, declaring, no more delay. No more blockage. No more theft. My child's miracle is being released now. And as you hear this, beloved, believe it. Doors that resisted you will open suddenly. People who ignored you will call suddenly. Blessings that were delayed will arrive suddenly. Because when heaven moves, it moves quickly, and no man can stop it. And hear this, beloved. God says, do not fear the shaking, for the shaking is my signal. When everything around you begins to move, it is because I am removing what was false and planting what is true. So when the exposure comes, do not cry as if you lost. Rejoice, as if you were saved, because the betrayal will not end you. It will crown you. The mask falling will not shame you. It will free you. And the sudden shift will not destroy you. It will push you into the very destiny you begged heaven for. Beloved, hold on to this, your story is not ending in pain. It is beginning in power. The enemy wanted you silenced, but this message proves you are too important to silence. The enemy wanted you broken, but heaven says you are unbreakable. The enemy wanted you forgotten, but God says your name is written in fire across eternity. And tonight, Archangel Michael bends close, whispering, stay awake, my child. Stay open. Because within these words lies the key to the next chapter of your life. Beloved, I want you to pause and look at your own journey. Look at how many times you were pushed down, yet somehow stood back up. Look at how many times you lost what you thought was everything, only for something greater to find its way to you. Did you really think that was by your own strength? No. That was heaven's hand guiding you, protecting you, shaping you for this very moment. Every storm, every betrayal, every sleepless night, it was not wasted. It was training. And now Archangel Michael says, the training is over. The battle is here. And my child will not walk into it unarmed. They will walk into it with my sword, with my shield, with my fire. Beloved, this is why you cannot take these words lightly. This is why every sentence is a weapon being placed in your hands. Do you remember the moments when you felt unseen? When the people you trusted overlooked your worth? When your light seemed invisible to the world? You wondered if God forgot you, if heaven was silent. But Michael says silence is not absence. Silence is preparation. While you thought you were forgotten, angels were rearranging things in your favor. While you thought heaven was still, heaven was writing your name into future blessings. And now those blessings are ready to step forward. The silence is breaking. The trumpet is sounding. This message is proof. The delay was never denial. It was positioning. And now that the hour has come, everything that was withheld is being released in abundance. Beloved, can you sense how the atmosphere has been different lately? The restlessness, the tension, the strange heaviness that makes no sense. That is not random. That is the war in the unseen. Shadows have been fighting harder because they know their time is almost up. They wanted to keep you bound, wanted to keep you distracted, wanted to keep you doubting yourself. But they miscalculated one thing: you belong to God, and what belongs to God cannot be stolen. Michael says, I have been stationed by your side. Every night you cried, I was there. Every arrow sent against you, I blocked. And now I am lifting my voice because the final chain is breaking. Beloved, do not dismiss what you feel. The heaviness is lifting even as you read. The darkness is trembling because it knows light is rising around you. There is a scroll in heaven with your name written in golden fire. That scroll has been sealed for years, waiting for the appointed moment. And tonight, the seal is breaking. Michael holds it in his hand as I speak. He says, this is the record of my child's destiny. This is the promise God made before they were even born. And now it shall be revealed. Beloved, when heaven breaks a seal, nothing can keep it closed again. No man, no betrayal, no curse, no failure, nothing. What is written for you will find you. What was prepared for you will reach you. And this message is the bridge pulling it into your present. That is why the urgency feels so strong. That is why your spirit is alert right now. Because heaven's scroll is opening, and your life is about to shift forever. Beloved, many thought you would never rise. They looked at your struggles, your setbacks, your tears, and they assumed you were finished. But God has a way of shocking the world. He has a way of lifting the very ones others counted out. And Michael says, the tables are turning now. Those who mocked will marvel. Those who laughed will bow their heads. Those who ignored will remember your name. This is not about pride, beloved. This is about vindication. Heaven is about to show that you were chosen all along, that your story was not a mistake, that your journey was divine even when it felt broken. And when it happens, the world will know that your rise was not by human hands, but by the hand of God alone. Beloved, let me warn you gently. When this exposure happens, when the truth bursts into the light, you will be tempted to weep over the betrayal, to ache over the lies, to mourn over what was lost. But Michael says, do not mourn what I am cutting off. Rejoice, because what I cut is what was poisoning you. It will hurt, yes, because love makes us vulnerable. But the hurt will heal, and in its place will come strength you never imagined. The betrayal will sting, but then it will sharpen your vision. The loss will ache, but then it will make room for the blessing heaven has been holding back. Do not fight the removal. Trust it, because everything God takes is replaced with something greater. Everything that falls away is proof that something eternal is being planted. Beloved, your spirit already knows this. That's why you can't stop reading. That's why every line feels like it was written directly for you, because it was. This message is not floating in the air. It was aimed, delivered, sealed with your name. And heaven would not pursue you this fiercely if your future were not great. Michael says, if my child only knew how big the blessing is, they would not fear this battle. If they only saw how close the miracle is, they would not doubt a single word. So I tell you, beloved, take courage. The very thing you feared losing may be the very thing God is removing so He can give you more than you asked for. The very doors that slammed in your face may be the ones God shut to lead you to better doors already opening. And the very pain you are carrying may be the seed of the promise that is about to bloom. Beloved, there is a moment in every chosen one's life when heaven bends closer, when the earth grows still, and when the spirit world presses into the physical with undeniable force. That moment is now for you. This is why your hands feel different as you hold this message. Why your eyes cannot look away. Why your soul is trembling even as you read. Archangel Michael is standing near, declaring over you, my child cannot miss this hour. They cannot walk past this door. For the very thing they prayed for, the very thing they cried for, the very thing they thought was lost forever, is being placed before them tonight. Beloved, understand this, what is happening now will echo through the rest of your life. What you choose to hear and receive in this moment will shape your tomorrow. You have walked through fire before, haven't you? You have carried pain so deep it felt like it would crush your chest. And yet, every time you rose again. Do you know why? Because you were never truly walking alone. Michael says, I was there when they thought no one saw them. I was holding them up when their knees were shaking. I was fighting the demons that thought they had won. Beloved, that same angel who protected you in the silence is the one speaking now with urgency. If he risked everything to fight for you in the unseen, why would you ignore him now that he speaks in the open? His message is not casual. It is eternal. Beloved, let me tell you something heaven just revealed. The enemy tried to intercept this message 3 times. Shadows tried to block it from reaching you because they knew if you saw these words, their power over you would be broken forever. That's why you've been distracted, tired, restless, because the enemy fought to keep you blind. But God overruled. Heaven said, no more delay. No more hiding. Send the word through now. And so here you are, reading what the enemy never wanted you to see. That alone is proof this message is alive, burning with the breath of God, carrying the power to rewrite your destiny in one moment. Beloved, you are being lifted into a season where justice will speak louder than lies. For too long, lies have tried to define you. They called you weak when God saw you strong. They called you finished when God was just beginning. They whispered that you were forgotten when your name was written across heaven's sky in golden letters. And now, Archangel Michael says, the lies are crumbling. The truth is rising. And my child will be seen for who they really are. This is vindication. This is restoration. This is the moment when what was stolen is returned and what was hidden is displayed in glory. Beloved, there are people who underestimated you. They thought your silence meant weakness. They thought your kindness meant naivety. They thought your patience meant you had no strength to fight back. But God has been watching. And Michael says, the season of underestimation is over. My child will be revealed in power. They will rise where others thought they would fall. They will shine where others tried to dim them. So do not doubt yourself anymore. Do not shrink back anymore. You were not born to hide. You were born to stand. And heaven is about to prove that to the world. Listen closely now, beloved. In the next days, you will notice signs around you, strange shifts, sudden dreams, unusual conversations. These are not random. They are confirmations. Michael says, heaven is sending hints, markers, signals to prepare my child for what is about to unfold. Pay attention to them. Do not dismiss them as coincidences. They are the whispers of God guiding your steps into alignment with destiny. For the battle is real, but so is the blessing. And the one who stays alert will not be caught off guard. Beloved, your prayers have been louder than you know. The ones you whispered, thinking they were too small for heaven to hear, heaven heard them. The ones you cried in silence with no one watching, heaven saw them. And tonight, the answer is at your door. Michael says, tell my child that the delay was never because God ignored them. The delay was because the miracle being prepared was greater than what they asked for. What you prayed for was survival, but what God is giving you is abundance. What you prayed for was healing, but what God is giving you is wholeness. What you prayed for was clarity, but what God is giving you is revelation. The blessing is always bigger than the prayer. Beloved, don't you see? This is not just about your survival. It is about your story. God is writing your life into a testimony that will shake others awake. People who doubted faith will look at your rise and say, surely God is real. People who mocked your prayers will bow their heads in silence when they see the evidence of heaven in your life. And Michael says, this is why my child has been under attack, because their story is not small. It carries weight for generations. Their breakthrough will not only bless them, it will bless everyone connected to them. This is why the enemy fought you so hard. And this is why heaven is fighting for you even harder. Beloved, I must tell you something. The Spirit just pressed into me, you are standing at the very edge of your turning point. This is not symbolic. This is literal. What has been delayed for years is now trembling on the horizon, about to break open. That's why the air around you has felt heavy. That's why even your body has been restless, even your dreams uneasy, because your spirit knows change is near. And Michael says, do not mistake this heaviness as trouble. It is the weight of blessing trying to land. What you feel pressing against you is not the enemy. It is the future. It is the miracle begging for room to enter. And if you stay faithful, if you stay awake, you will see it unfold faster than your mind can process. Beloved, remember the nights you almost let go. The moments when life pressed so hard that you whispered, I can't take this anymore. You thought no one heard, but heaven heard. And Michael says, those moments became the reason this blessing was secured. My child's tears purchased the miracle they are about to receive. That's how precious you are to God. He does not ignore your weakness. He transforms it. He does not punish your breaking. He turns it into building. Every fragile moment became a brick in the foundation of your testimony. And now when you rise, you will not rise alone. You will rise carrying generations with you, carrying proof that God answers, that angels defend, that miracles are real. Beloved, let me reveal the secret of why this feels so urgent. The enemy has sensed your breakthrough approaching. And in these final hours, he is desperate. That's why the attacks intensified. Why misunderstandings came suddenly. Why strange delays tested your patience. The enemy thought, if I can shake them before the blessing arrives, I can make them miss it. But Michael says, it is too late. My child's name is already written on the blessing. Their destiny is sealed. Their miracle is signed. Beloved, you cannot miss what is already yours unless you choose to turn away. And that is why this message is here, to make sure you don't. Do you feel that strange stirring in your chest as you read? That warmth, that sense of recognition. That is your spirit confirming, this is mine. This is for me. You are not imagining it. You are not forcing it. Your soul knows its own prophecy. It has been waiting for this word, waiting for this trumpet, waiting for this final call. And now that it has come, you cannot dismiss it. Because if you do, beloved, you will feel the ache of missed destiny. And heaven loves you too much to let you miss it without warning you first. That's why Michael is almost begging now, stay awake. Do not skip. Do not turn your eyes away. Beloved, let me paint the picture clearly. The coming days will bring exposure. Hidden motives will surface. False friends will reveal themselves. Truths that were buried will come to light. And though it may sting, though it may shock you, it will save you. Because you cannot build a palace on poison. You cannot carry snakes into your promised land. And so heaven is clearing your path, even if it hurts. Trust the removal. Trust the shaking. Trust the pruning. Because what looks like loss is actually love. What looks like endings are beginnings in disguise. And after the exposure, beloved, comes the explosion, the sudden flood of blessings that were waiting. Financial doors swinging wide. Relationships aligning with destiny. Health restored where sickness lingered. Strength returning where weakness drained you. This is not empty promise. It is covenant. Michael says, I will not only defend my child, I will deliver to them what they thought they lost. The years you felt wasted will return to you in moments. The seasons that seemed barren will suddenly bloom. And the heaviness that weighed you down will lift as if it was never there. This is how heaven moves. Suddenly. Swiftly. Undeniably. Beloved, you must believe this, you are not ordinary. You are not forgotten. You are not behind. You are chosen, marked, protected, and destined. The reason life has felt so hard is because your calling is so great. The reason the attacks were heavy is because your blessing is heavier. The reason this message feels urgent is because your breakthrough is immediate. You are not reading by accident. You are reading because God Himself refused to let you miss this. And Michael is standing watch now, making sure your heart receives every word. So beloved, take courage. Stand tall. Open your spirit wide. This is your final warning, but it is also your final invitation. 3 minutes. That's all heaven gave you to hear this. And you did not skip. You stayed. And because you stayed, because you listened, because you obeyed, your destiny is shifting as we speak. Even now, angels are moving, doors are unlocking, chains are snapping. And before long, you will look back at this moment and say, that was the night everything changed. That was the night heaven spoke, and I listened. That was the night my story began again. Beloved, remember this always, you are loved beyond measure. You are guarded by angels. You are chosen by God. And nothing, no betrayal, no curse, no shadow, can undo what heaven has written over your life. This is your last chance to doubt. Your last chance to hesitate. From here, only faith. From here, only fire. From here, only destiny. Michael says, "It is done. My child's blessing is released. My child's enemies are scattered. My child's miracle is alive." And so it is. Beloved, when God marks a soul, no force on earth can erase that mark. And you, my child, are marked. That is why you felt different all your life. Why you never quite fit in. Why even in rooms full of people, you carried a sense of separation. It was not rejection. It was selection. Heaven set you apart long before you understood your own reflection. Archangel Michael says, "My child must know this truth, they are not strange. They are chosen. Their difference is not weakness. It is destiny." Beloved, everything about you, your sensitivity, your fire, your tears, your compassion, it all exists because you were designed to be a vessel of miracles. And now heaven is saying, the vessel is ready. Pour in the blessing. Think of the countless times you were misunderstood, judged unfairly, or left behind. Each of those moments carved you into who you are today. You thought they were setbacks, but they were sculpting. Heaven used rejection to shield you from connections that would have poisoned your future. Heaven used loneliness to teach you how to hear the voice of God in silence. Heaven used disappointment to sharpen your spirit into discernment. Beloved, none of it was wasted. Every pain prepared you. Every loss positioned you. And Michael says, now the preparation is complete. Now the waiting is ending. Now the harvest begins. Beloved, let me warn you gently. What is about to happen will not make sense at first. Doors will open that you did not knock on. Opportunities will come that you did not chase. People will favor you without explanation. This is not coincidence. It is divine alignment. God is placing you into a flow where blessings chase you instead of you chasing them. Michael says, this is the reversal. For years, my child ran after scraps. Now, abundance will run after them. That is why you must not fear when the shift feels sudden. Do not shrink back when favor feels overwhelming. This is what you were made for. This is what your tears built. This is what your prayers secured. Beloved, the truth is you have been underestimating yourself. You look at your scars and think they disqualify you. You look at your mistakes and think they define you. But heaven laughs at that lie. Michael says, tell my child, the scars are proof of survival, not shame. The mistakes are chapters, not definitions. And the very things they think disqualified them are the very things that qualified them to carry glory. Beloved, you cannot be destroyed by what you've endured. You can only be strengthened. And the strength you now carry will not only lift you, but it will lift others who are watching silently, hoping your story proves that God is real. Beloved, in the coming days, you will notice something. People who once ignored you will try to draw close again. Some will come with pure hearts, truly seeing your light at last. But others will come wearing masks, hoping to steal from what heaven just gave you. And Michael says, this is why discernment is key. Do not open every door. Do not trust every smile. Ask your spirit, not your flesh, and the truth will be revealed. You must guard your blessing like treasure. You must protect your destiny like fire. For what God is releasing now is not small. It is life-changing. And every treasure attracts thieves. But fear not, beloved, for Michael himself stands as your guard. No hand will take what heaven placed. No thief will steal what God sealed. Beloved, I must repeat this so it burns into your spirit: you are not late. You are not behind. You are right on time. Every delay, every detour, every closed door was part of the path. You think you lost years, but heaven says, I redeem time. I restore years. I multiply what seemed wasted. Beloved, the next season of your life will make up for the years you thought were stolen. What others build in decades, you will build in months. What others chase for years will come to you suddenly. Because when heaven accelerates, no man can slow it down. And Michael says, acceleration is here. My child will not crawl. They will soar. Beloved, tonight you must decide one thing: will you believe this? Not half-heartedly, not casually, but fully. Because faith is the key that unlocks what Michael is carrying for you. Doubt will delay, fear will weaken, but faith will fling the gates open wide. And you have enough faith, beloved. You've been doubting yourself, but heaven sees the seed inside you. Even the smallest spark of belief is enough to light the fire. And that fire is already burning. Even now, as you read, your faith is rising. You feel it, don't you? That warmth, that certainty, that sense that this is more than words. That is faith awakening. And when faith awakens, miracles follow. Beloved, do you know why heaven speaks so often about timing? Because timing is everything. A seed planted too early will die, and a seed planted too late will miss the harvest. But you, my child, are standing in perfect timing. Michael says, tell my child, the waiting was not wasted. It was alignment. The delay was not denial. It was protection. And now, every prayer, every tear, every sleepless night is converging into this moment of release. Beloved, think of it. How many times you thought you missed your chance? How many times you cried, thinking life had passed you by? Yet here you are, standing in front of the open gate. Heaven's clock never runs late. And now that it has struck, your blessing is unstoppable.